It's the summer. Book Break has come here to London's secret beach, here at the Crown Plaza, Kensington. I am lying here on a deck chair in the sun, on the sand. I feel so much like I'm on my summer holiday. And I've got here a suitcase packed full of books. So I'm going to tell you now about the books that you have to bring on your summer holiday with you this year. So once I've got my suitcase packed with my sun cream and my swimmers, the next thing I always like to bring on holiday is a book set in a hot country. So Between the Orange Groves by Nadia Marks is such a great choice as it's set in sunny Cyprus. So this is about two families who grow up best of friends, and the boys, Lambros and Orhan, who grow up as close as if they were brothers, until one day a terrible act of betrayal tears these two families apart. So then we jump to decades later and we meet Lambros as an old man living in London, filled with regret, and telling his daughter Stella stories about his past in Cyprus. And Cyprus is so much a character in the story. Even when Lambros is living in London, his stories and his memories are so filled with the island itself and the orange groves that he grew up amongst. Another really summery cover here, this is How to Love a Jamaican by Alexia Arthurs, which is made up of 11 short stories about Jamaican immigrants and their families back home. So some of the stories are set in these close-knit island communities, and some are set in US cities. And the stories are about family and motherhood, about love and sexuality, and about coming home. And I think that short stories are perfect for summer holidays because you can just fit one each in between each dip in the pool. So short stories are great for summer holidays, but I also think that really long books are great because all of that time spent lying on the beach, you finally got time to get through them. So a really brilliant book is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton, and this tells the story of this manor house and all of the different people who have lived there and worked there through the years. So we go all the way back to 1862 when this group of artists lived there, all the way up to present day, and all of the different timelines come together to form the pieces of this puzzle. It's a really, really compelling read, and the mystery comes together in such a satisfying way. I always like to bring a page turner on my holidays, and a really good summer thriller is Your Truth or Mine. So this tells the story of a young married couple, Roy and Mia, but right at the beginning the book starts when the police come to their door and question Roy on the disappearance of this missing girl. And the twists just keep coming in this one. There are so many things that aren't quite what they seem at first, from Roy and Mia's own marriage, to Roy's relationship to this missing girl, to Mia's memories of her own childhood. There's just so many surprises all the way throughout it. And I also really loved that this book is set between London and India. So really early on, the couple go to an Indian wedding, and the descriptions of that were just so rich and colourful, so I loved reading about that. I was just hooked the whole way through this one. It's got to be in your summer suitcase. Okay, so we are running out of space in the suitcase now, so a really good solution for bringing on your holidays is an ebook. And even if you don't have an e-reader, you can actually just download apps like the Kindle app onto your phone and then read the books directly from your phone, so that doesn't take up any space in your suitcase. So I have got the ebook here of Her Sister's Lie by Debbie Howes, which is a super twisty thriller. It tells the story of a young woman named Hannah whose whole life is thrown into disarray when she gets a phone call that her estranged sister, who she hasn't spoken to in 10 years, has died in mysterious circumstances, and now Hannah has custody over her son Abe. And you just, the whole way through the book, don't know who to trust. Abe seems to know more than he's letting on. We find the sister's diary entries, which tell slightly different stories, and Hannah's own drinking problem leaves all of these gaps in her memory, so every time she talks to the police, her story is just a little bit different. I also think the holidays are great for finally reading the classics that you've been meaning to read, and so to save suitcase space, I am bringing this lovely pocket-sized edition of Agnes Grey. So this is by Anne Bronte, the often neglected third Bronte sister, and it's about a woman who becomes a governess and the contempt and cruelty that is shown to her. And you probably read Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights at school, but a lot of people think that Anne Bronte is actually the best of the Bronte sisters. And now our suitcase is now totally full, so the last thing you can bring on your summer holiday is an audiobook. And again, you can just listen straight from your phone. So I've got the audiobook here of Homeland by Fernando Aramburu, and this is a very long book that will keep me entertained the whole way on the plane. So this is about two women who have been best friends their whole lives until one woman's son joins a terrorist organisation that is threatening the other family's lives. So the families are torn apart, and the book examines everything that builds up to the book's tragic ending. So yes, it is a tearjerker. You might want to bring a big hat, to hide your tears under. So those are our recommendations for your holiday reading, but do leave a comment below letting me know what you have been reading, and of course do subscribe to Book Break for new videos every Thursday. Coming up next week we are talking about bookish podcasts, and while you're waiting for that, do go over and follow us on Instagram at BookBreakUK, and do come to the Crowne Plaza Kensington to visit this lovely beach. See you next time!